What's going on, YouTube? Going to be installing the dropper C post onto the Ardor today. Got the KSLEV E10 120 millimeter internal dropper. I already installed the seat just to save some time. It was kind of a pain to get it off the old seat. Really had to remove the bolt and the nut all the way. But anyways, basic tools needed: cable cutter, side cutter, pretty much a multi-tool. I got a couple extra zip ties to the housing. I got the red because I got orange too, but I like the red a little better. Just so you can see it. This is kind of an orangey red color, and I think that red looks better. I don't know, we'll see. Okay, I like to start by zip tying the cable housing onto the frame. It helps set up everything up a little easier. And I wouldn't tighten up all the way either, just keep it loose so it'll be in place. Not too loose. You want it snug. It makes it easier. At least this way you know you cut the hose, the housing the correct length. If you let it loose, it could be longer or shorter. You wouldn't know until you actually zip tie it up. And actually that red looks so much better than the orange. Okay. Normally people will route the housing on this side, the non-drive side, and put it at the lever here. I prefer going around the opposite side. Attach it to the brake hose here into the lever this way. I prefer the dropper lever on the inside part of the brake lever clamp. Honestly, this is up to you, more preference. Some people like it here because they want it further away from the grip. I like holding it further back, so that gives me enough. My thumbs are pretty short anyways. So this is usually the perfect length for my setups. Alright, now we're going to run the hose up to the dropper. Certain frames, you can't fit this cap in it, but on the Ardor apparently you can. So I'll just slide it all the way up. Up until you get it out here. So you can see it right there. Alright, I actually forgot to mention why I was doing it this way. This is how I measure the length of the housing that's needed for the dropper post. For the most part, there's a groove right inside here where the housing slides into, and it's pretty much solid once it gets in there. See? And I'll just push it back in while pulling it from the bottom to the desired length. This is a 120 millimeter drop. I normally like it around 150. Well, depending on the front, the seat tube itself. I think right there will be close to where I would want it. Then I'll come back around to the lever section, put it through here, and see how much I have to cut off. Which this is actually nearly perfect. Maybe an inch. Let me see. You pretty much want to line it up on the inside of the barrel, because if you cut on the outside, it'll be literally about a half inch too short. So actually this is a half inch too long. So I'll just cut a half inch off of here. This is a different housing from the kit. The kit came with a longer housing, which I kept for another bike for later, future builds. I had this older cable laying around, so I'd rather cut a cable is already cut in the brand new cable. And you slide it back into the barrel. That's near perfect. All right, so this is where I start with the cable itself. on the KS lab, or most KS in general, they like installing the cable through the lever first, which the other brands like Fox, Raceface, Brand X all installed the other way, which I actually like a lot better. But it required a different barrel end. It does not fit on the KS lab. So I'm just gonna deal with it this way. Actually, I forgot a step. After you do this, I'm gonna have to remove the lever again to get the cable up out the seat tube. All right, where is my... I should have just left it snug, but whatever. This is the far as we'll go until I pull it back up the other way. I'll show you how much I like to leave on there, because there is going to be some adjustments you have to do throughout install in the first ride. The lever's not going to go anywhere because the barrel end has a little nut, so that right there. If you drop the lever, it won't go all the way down. It'll fall off. So back to the other end. Since the cable housing is already where it needs to be, let me pull this out. Pull this up. I like to pull the cable through all the way. Make sure on the other side that the lever and this end is all the way in, but let me show you. I have to go back real quick. I like to leave about an inch of housing or an inch of cable here before you cut the other side, where to give you some adjustments. Technically, I mean, half an inch, even an inch. I prefer an inch just in case, and it doesn't really bother you because it's really out of the way once you tighten up the set screw right there. So you come back over here. You have to install this barrel end at the tip here to where it actuates the actual dropper lever. There's a tool for this. I have a couple of them. It comes with the kit. This is the tool that comes with the kit. It's honestly, in my opinion, fairly useless, because if you set it up the way I did, you rarely have to use it. But for the sake of the install, I'll show you how it's done. I'll show you how it's supposed to be used. So the housing, you get a closer video. Get a little closer. There. So the housing slides in there, and that barrel adjuster piece of lock goes right there. Let me make sure the other side, I just pulled on it a little bit. Let me make sure on the other side is still good. And yep. So what you do is line it up here. Normally, you can use 2 Allen keys. You can fit another one here to hold it and tighten it up. But with this, that should be good enough. You can tighten it extra tight, but that's up to you. I have never had a problem with it. You could literally cut it as close as you can. With the KS, you really don't have that much space for any more cable. Yep, that's good to go. There it is. You slide in there, you push it back in. Pull it back up on the bottom slowly. Line up to where I want it. Just right there. Lock it in place. Now back to the lever side. let's get the lever back in. This procedure you already saw, so no point go back to details again, where you should mount it. I like to pull onto this to keep tension while tightening up the set screw. I actually looks like I must have pulled on it a little bit while I was doing it the other way, but let's test it and see. There you go. So yeah, that's it. That's the install. It's fairly easy, but I've done it a couple of times. If you haven't done it already, the hardest part is just getting the cable cut correctly at the end. I've seen some people cut it, then move the barrel just a little higher to where I didn't have to cut it the second time. You can do that too, but it's no big deal. Everyone has their own way of doing it. I prefer, certain ways, usually a little different than most people would do. I'm going to do a couple more videos of installs. Then we'll do an update on this bike. I'm still waiting on some stuff, or it's just still deciding on some stuff. I want to do handlebar and stem, but I'm not too sure what I want yet. Definitely want to do the crank because the stock crank is fine right now, but I think the bearing needs grease. I haven't do this since I bought it. I normally recommend all my friends buying an Axum or even the Ardor to grease the bearings off the bat, because the factory bearing is nowhere near as good as some of the bearings you can buy. And yeah, subscribe if you haven't already, like if you like the video. If you do need some help or more help that I can't help on YouTube or you can't find on YouTube, there is a Ardor Ledge group on Facebook. A lot of guys on YouTube are already on there. There's a lot of guys that have been doing a lot of stuff on these Ardors and Ledges already that you won't see on YouTube. You see it first for the most part. I'm the admin, so yeah, I'll pretty much accept anyone with a profile picture or something other than just a name. So yeah, till next time.